Greetings everyone, and welcome to another midnight hunt draft. Somehow I have difficulties pronouncing. I'm going to say midnight hunt with a D or something like that. Alright, so if you did check my previous draft, I had Tovolar also in that one, and it's as sick of a card as you could imagine when you read the text. Even the front side is just if it didn't do anything else than be a 6 mana 6/6 that comes with two wolves, it would be a fantastic. But then it's also a werewolf and has a very nice backside, and well, it's just going to be sick if you get to transform it, and then you get more wolves and you may be able to fight something and so on and so on. It's easily the first pick always when you see it in a pack. At least on Magic Arena, which has no foils in packs, so you can't have a double race in Midnight Hunt. Alright, let's take it. There's a Defenestrate, which I think would be my pick otherwise, if there wasn't an insanely good rare. Alright, so I do like the Mysterious Tome, but the Contortionist Troupe is a fantastic card. It also does match my first pick color, so I'm going to take it. So normally the green and X 0/0 creatures that enter with X counters are fine, but nothing exciting. In this case, the Coven ability can just make, allow you to grow any creature you have, even this itself or some other creature you have. So this is like kind of a Luminarch aspirant, not exactly the same because it's at the beginning of your end step, but if you have Coven, you get a free counter each turn, and it is really strong. Easy pick here, not really point in figuring out anything else about this pack because I'm free to draft any other color with green, and I definitely hope to be green after having the Tovolar here. Alright, so Spellrune Painter. Yeah, this is the werewolf that becomes it's a 3 mana 2/3, becomes a 3/4 and gets a stat boost for playing instant and sorcery spells. I don't think green-red is the correct color combination to be in. This is of course the best with blue, but also black can have a lot of in removal. I think I might take the Candle Trap. Oh, there's also Ritual of Hope. I kind of forgot to check this uncommon. This is really good in green-white. I'm actually, the Candle Trap is good removal, yes it is, but this is just very good uncommon, and I can try to get a really decent Coven deck if it happens to be open. Although I don't see a lot of white here, sadly. So the Soul Guide Griff is, it's not bad, but it's just a very, very replaceable 5-drop. So I don't necessarily even care about picking it this early in the draft. Pack 1, pick 4, having a random 5-drop, which is not particularly amazing. Any other 5-drop will do the job equally well. So I am not picking it now. The best card in the pack is the Blade Stitched Scab. Also, Organ Hoarder is really good. So I'm thinking about picking one of the green cards, or I could take the Organ Hoarder and still go green-blue here. Evolving Wilds is also a consideration always when you see it, especially when you have none of them. But I think I take the Organ Hoarder. It is really, really good. And if I can't go white, I can be green-blue, although this pack has also a couple of decent white cards. The Cathar Commando, it's a decent 2-drop. I have no 2-drops. I'm kind of interested in that because I want to play a deck with the Ritual of Hope. And I want to have the green-white Coven specific deck. The Duel for Dominance is okay, but I think I'd just rather have a 2-drop creature now. So I'll take it. This is good for Coven because it gives you 2 different powers, but you can get 4-drops later. You don't need that many of them. You need a lot of 2-drops to have a good limited deck, so I'm taking that. And okay, I have another. How come people are not picking this card? This is the only blue card left in the pack. Was there some other blue and people took them before this? Well, with the white cards I have, I still think I'm not going to take the Organ Hoarder here. Ritual Guardian is a fine curve filler. The Might of the Old Ways is also good when you have the common specific deck, but I assume I get these kind of cards later. I'll take the 3-drop now, and I'll forget about this. And yeah, I think I'll take another 2-drop. This is a very good card, of course, but maybe not the greatest splash on a green-white deck. Well, white has some disturb creatures that you can sacrifice for this and still have the creature come back, but I think I'll just take the very decent 2-drop. I have a very reasonable start for a green-white deck here, and the Loyal Griff is probably what I take here. This is a nice sideboard card, but this is a premier draft, so it's best of one, no sideboarding. I don't have to concern myself with that. I'm taking the Hull of the Hunt, so pretty decent. And I got a Gavin Silversmith at pick number 10. This is a really good 4-drop. Wow. Okay, I'm not playing the Return to Nature in the main deck in this format. I don't think the Dawnheart Rejuvenator is gonna be played either, but who knows, maybe I will get some crazy bomb I actually want to splash. But we will see. 7 creatures, 2 non-creatures. I can take the Might of the Old Ways now. I kind of like it if I try to get the common happen. And this is also helping to get the common happen. This green-white is, I think, that the color combination where the Bramble Armor is not that bad of a card. But I have not a lot of common effects. This is one. And, well, this is one, but the lifelink is... It's okay, but nothing too amazing. And then there's the Might of the Old Ways. Well, there's also this. Okay, yeah, I'll have some. And of course, the Ritual of Hope is the great payoff. So actually, I do have quite a lot of common, considering I have only 11 cards here. Now here, the green and white cards are pretty mediocre. I don't care about this 5-drop right now. I could play it, but this is not a rare drafting because while I'm completing the set, I don't have to rare pick rares. Regular rares, I mean, because those will be completed anyway when I go for full mythic completion. But I will pick any mythic rare, even though I'm not going to play that. But now I'm taking this because it is mana fixing for my deck, and I don't care about the other cards. I can get similar cards later in the draft. So this is a very good way to improve the deck quality by having a land that can tap for both of your colors. Alright, this is a very good removal spell. Sun Gold Barrage. I guess in best of one I might play one of these, but against some decks it might not do anything. I'm not that excited about it, and I don't like this too much. It will become a 2-1 flying first striker for 4 though. And the 1 power can help with the Coven stuff too. I'm thinking still about yet another 3 power creature, but maybe I will take the first striker because it will help with the Coven. I don't have a lot of creatures with only 1 power. And here there's a clear shot. There's also the Shadow Beast sighting. This is a very decent common for green, and I would like to have it, but there is a clear shot. This is definitely a high quality removal spell. It's not a fight effect, you just get to deal damage to the opponent's creature. It doesn't deal damage back to your own creature, so I think it's the pick over the Shadow Beast sighting, which I would be taking over the Loyal Griff here. Unnatural Growth, okay. Well, this is obviously a crazy good effect, but it is a quadruple caster. And I have only 1 overgrown farmland. This would require a lot of green mana, so it's like at least 12 for me to be happy about playing this. It doesn't have to be played specifically on turn 5, it's okay on turn 6, turn 7 maybe even, but with so little amount of mana fixing, I just take another clear shot. This works also on opponent's turn. It's beginning of each combat. Basically it doubles your creature's power and toughness for all the combat situations. But with the quadruple caster requirement, I'm not taking it. Alright, so I think it's gonna be still the Gavin Silversmith. This is also very good in tuning your Coven triggers. Clarion Catharas works in that regard too, but I like this slightly more. It has more flexibility, I think. And then I think now it might be time to take a duel for dominance. It's definitely not a bad card. I just like the whatever I picked over it in an earlier pack. But now I will take this duel here. There's another Rite of Oblivion, but I don't think I'm going to go for the splash there at all. And how about this pack? Yeah, I don't like this common. This as even as a disturb creature is a 1 power creature. At least the Chaplain is a 2 power first striker when it gets back. Alright, Unruly Mob, probably not the greatest in green-white, but Timberland Guide works with Coven. That said, I haven't really gotten any other Coven payoffs in this pack, but maybe I will. Oh, actually, I have fun, the Duel for Dominance, and I now get another one of those. Am I going to pick that or the Morning Patrol? Flare of Fate is like okay, but I'd rather just have the Might of the Old Ways. Maybe I'll take another of these. I'm not sure though. I guess this is a pretty random. Yeah, I'll take the fight spell here, but I will need more creatures for sure. But I'll take the 5-drop now. I haven't found really. Well, I have passed some white drops I have seen, but it's fine. Alright, I'll take the 2-drop. I do think it's more important than this fairly situational removal spell. This is obviously great against like green and red decks which have werewolves, which will have high toughness, but this is just bad against decks that, because there are color combinations which won't have a lot of 4 toughness or greater. Now I got this thing back at pick 11, Shadow Beast sighting. I never expected to do that, but I'm super happy with that. Okay, should I try this equipment too or take another 5-drop? I don't think I want to have another 5-drop necessarily. I can try this equipment, but I mean I have already almost. This Homestead Courage is not good. I mean, look at this deck. It's 22 cards I could play, and its entire pack is left here. And I get a million options here. Brutal Cathar, though. 3 mana 2/2. When it enters, yeah, you get to exile a creature until this creature leaves the battlefield. And it also works, you know, when it becomes night and when it becomes day again. Because it will transfer into Brutal Cathar. You get to exile another one. So this can actually exile multiple creatures. I'm taking it. It's good. I mean, even if it was just a 2/2 that exiles temporarily. The Defend the Celestus, Gavin Silversmith. Yeah, they are good cards in this pack. I'm gonna get something probably back from there. Okay, another white rare here. Yeah, let's take it. There is a Ritual of Hope too, but this is just too efficient to ignore. So basically, a 2 mana 3/2 is also already pretty great stats, and then it has, you know, it can bullet the opponent a bit, exiling cards from graveyard. It can be quite relevant in this format, and then the Coven ability makes this basically unblockable. Yep, so I'm taking the rare here, hoping to get the Ritual of Hope back. 14 creatures. I'm not going to play all the non-creatures I have there. Oh, man, I get so many good options here. There's the Liberator, there's a Silversmith, there's a Shadow Beast number 2. I have 2 of those Silversmiths. How do I do it? I mean, I'm gonna start cutting cards. Bramble. I think the equipment will be going away. Should I take this? This can kill enchantments. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Outland Liberator here. But the 4-drops are good too. I think I would take the 4/4 over the Silversmith there, but how about this? There's a Search Party Captain that can draw your card, and I mean, it always will draw a card, but it can be cheaper than the 4 cost indicates. I have so many playables. I'm in the correct colors here for sure, but maybe I don't play that many Silversmiths. It is really good though. Okay, maybe I'll take another Silversmith. Rise of the Ants. Maybe not for this deck. Then again, but I don't maybe go to 8 mana. This is more of an aggressive deck, so the 8 mana flashback cost is pretty expensive. Maybe I just don't play it. I don't think I'm gonna play any of these. I have bramble armors already. I have one of these. One is the most I'm going to play because I will want to have enough creatures. So maybe I'll just take the uncommon because uncommon is a rarer card than a common, something like that. Alright, Shadow Beast again, for sure. I won't be playing all the 4-drops. Maybe I will play 2 and 2. Let's cut one of these Gavony Silversmiths. The 4-4 is good also with the common effects I have. Let's see if I can get another Ritual of Hope back. There's a Rite of Harmony, but I don't think this is very good. Creature or enchantment. Yeah, I mean, you get to draw like one card. This is not really that great in limited. I think I just like the Bird Admirer isn't bad. Timberland Guide would be okay too, but I have a lot of 2-drops. Okay, both the Trapper and the Candle Trap still here. Yeah, I mean, these colors are so open here. I could have even yet another Candlelit Cavalry too. Wow, this is... I mean, I guess I'll take the removal spell, but I like the Tapper because it helps with common with its 0 power. So okay, I'll take the common helper. Yeah, of course I get to defend the Celestus here. It's just too good to ignore. How many creatures I have? 17, okay. I have to cut a lot of cards, but I think this is such a high impact card. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna play it, surely. Suppose I can take this. I'm not gonna play those things that kill 4 toughness stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna play 3 of these, so I'll just take the uncommon. Okay, I got one of these, but yeah, this is a best of 1 draft, so these are good sideboard cards, but definitely useless inside a best of 1. I mean, useless in multiples because you shouldn't play more than... I could see playing 1, but not more than 1 in main deck because it's so bad when you draw it against something like a maybe blue-white that doesn't necessarily have a lot of big creatures. Now, okay, I'm not playing these cards. I have still 2 of these guys in my deck, so... And I have, 7 cuts to make, unless I play 16 lands. Which I don't think I'm gonna do because I have also the 6-drop, and I might play one of the 5-drops. So let's go to this mode. I guess I'll keep this 8-8 and the farmland, so I'm not gonna cut these lands. I'm gonna only cut 7 non-lands here, and I'm gonna start with, I guess, with the at least the white equipment goes. I'm gonna play the Candlelit Cavalry and the Troupe, and well, this is definitely going to be played, but I will play these as my kind of a high end. But how much? I would have to have 4 4-drops, and then the trick here. I think I want to play them all, but then I will cut the stuff I see here. I like the flyer. The Ritual Guardian is, I guess, not that amazing. But lifelink? I like this because when it has 1 power, it is because my deck doesn't have a lot of 1 power. It does help with the common, but I need to cut so many cards. Let's see the 2-drops here. I mean, I kind of like to play the Bramble Armor, but I don't want to cut a lot of creatures. I will definitely cut some, but I'm actually thinking about the Chaplain of Alms. It does have the fact it is a 1 power creature. It helps with the common, but it's a low impact card. Might actually cut that. And maybe like one of the Cathar commandos, because I have so many 2-drops in here. Bramble Armor, that is very slow to move around, so maybe it can also go away. One of the commandos here. That leaves me 1. Let's see the creature curve here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops. Well, I don't want to go below that. 5 3-drops. Silversmith. I like the 4-drops. Okay, this is basically, yeah, I can't. It's not a creature, but counts as a 4-drop creature slot drop. I think the whole of the hunt has to go. Some of these, well, actually, let me rephrase. That's 16 creatures, but it's actually 18 because of these things. So 18 creatures means I could, yeah, I guess the Bounding Wolf is the least useful one. I don't have more than what, 3. Well, no, I do have werewolves here, so the flask thing is kind of useful in that sense, because I might want these guys to, you know, just I want the night and day cycle to happen. Well, this wants the cycle to happen. These werewolves just want there to be night constantly. I do like the idea to play the candlelit cavalry. It will be Trampler quite often in this deck. So do I want to play both the duels and both clear shots? I will play the Ritual of Hope, and I want to draw cards with this thing. I think the whole of the hunt will go away, and then that's one more cut unless I would play 16 lands, but I have enough expensive stuff. I won't be playing 16. I guess I could cut one of the 4 drops. Yeah, that's something I could do. I don't want to cut any more of these cheap cards, even the Ritual Guardian, which isn't that great. I just want to be able to curve out. So I guess the one duel for dominance or one of the 4 drops could go. With double clear shot, with the amount of pump spells I have, maybe I just don't need that many of these things. So I will play only one of those, and this should be it. That's 17 creatures with the token producers. Okay, so that's the deck. Pretty decent in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I would have liked to test the Bramble armor in this kind of deck. Maybe even the Hedge Witch's Mask, but my non-creatures I have in my deck I think are better than the equipment here. So let's go. I'm thinking about still this Howl of the Hunt. It's pretty good. I even have some wolves, and well, I have 4 werewolves for the. Okay, well, so be it. I clicked the. Well, I mean, the submit or done button is there still active, even though in that view it just doesn't show there. So I click there. It's fine. I mean, my deck is fine the way it is. I don't need to go back. Yep. Fine hand. I can play the Liberator and then the Guide, which might just pump itself. If the opponent doesn't have a 2-drop, this will become a 3-3. Let's see if they have a spell to play. Well, they have something because they paused for priority, played a land, so they can just kill that. That's fine. So if I draw a land, I can play the Silversmith, which is gonna give a counter to the Guide and itself. So a 4-mana 3/4 that gives a counter to your earlier creature is definitely great. I have to discard 2. Well, it's going to be the Ritual of Hope, but what is the other one? It's gonna be the Duel for Dominance. Exile target creature. It's not a non-token, so I can just exile this guy here. Never gonna come back. They might have some sacrifice synergy or something like that, which they cannot now utilize because the token ceased to exist. Okay, Elm Mirror. This is the one that becomes a 4/4 flyer. Okay. Let's draw a land, shall we? Thank you. And I'm gonna just give I guess both of these just to try to aggro them out. No, I don't mind drawing a land unless it's like 2 planes in a row. If I draw lands, I want to draw 1 green source. This will become a bigger guy with first strike if I have no spells to play, so there is at least that. They're gonna use the mirror here. There are some cards there, they have 3 mana left. They also lose some life when they use it. Okay, Gather Commando. It has flash, so it's pretty good with the... Oh, and they didn't play anything either, so this already became a... And now it has Ward, pay 3 life. Yeah, they didn't play a spell, so it became Knight now. Pretty good. Oh, and they made a big mistake there. They now pay 3 life for no reason. They could have done that on their own turn. I mean, they're gonna go to 2. I will have 3 attackers, all of which are lethal. If they wanna use these, they go to 1. Okay. And they don't have the mana for this, so I'm winning now. Didn't need the rare, I never drew even the 5th land here. Okay, yep, this is fine. So this will enter tapped unless it's my 3rd or further land drop. So, but I have the planes for the turn 1 Gavin Trapper here. And now it's a good 1, 2, 3 curve, and this will also... Coven will be enabled because this is a 2-2, this is a 3 power creature. Okay, so now the question is... Am I gonna block here? I'm gonna lose life anyway. So they can trigger the vampire business, because when it attacks, I'll take a hit here. I think I won't be blocking now. They get the drain happen, so this is a good curve out from that deck. But I can... this should enter unless you control 2 or more other lands. I do, so it doesn't enter tap now. So let's just make this thing happen. Now, of course, if they kill the Brutal Cathar, it's going to re-trigger. But because they are gonna be able to deal damage to me. So if they have removal on this thing, I think I'll be in trouble. I guess I could have exiled this, but I don't like that idea. I just hope they don't have a removal spell now. This doesn't have first strike, other than on the backside. Okay, interestingly, they chose to do this. They should have definitely attacked first, right? Okay, well, they didn't. It's fine for me. Let's see if I draw a land. Yes, I did. So... No, this is just... This is bad. Kind of want to save this, but I'm gonna trade with the outlaw. I mean, because I could have tapped the outlaw and then blocked the 2-1 with this and used the +2/+2, but I don't even get a card from it now, so let's just make this happen. And of course, if I'm drawing these lands, I'm not gonna beat the opponent who's stuck at 3 lands. I have 4 spells still in their hand. Oh, it's night. I was wondering what's going on, but it is night. Yeah, that is true. So in that case, I should maybe tap the Death Toucher. So it became night because of what? Yeah, I played the Brutal Cathar and then someone didn't play any spell at some point. When this attacks, Okay, they draw 2 cards. Okay, Sun Gold Sentinel. Alright. So this gains with Coven, which I don't have now, so I don't. It's just so it gains hexproof from that color. Can't be blocked by creatures of that color. Okay, but doesn't do anything on defense really. Well, I'm going to do this. I try to raise them. If I draw my 6-drop rare, that will be, of course, great. Exile a card from there. I guess it's a creature card that I'm going to exile. Now I can make Coven happen with the Might of the Old Ways if I want to. If they target this with something, I can give it hexproof. Oh, I didn't tap anything. Why did I tap anything? I guess I'm a fool. Okay, this actually will draw me a card, because first I get +2/+2 and then Coven. I mean, assuming they have nothing there. I should have tapped the Death Toucher, that's for sure. But I will try to go for it. I will draw a card here if this works. If it doesn't work, I mean, so be it. Now they have something. Too bad. Too bad indeed. Giving a 2-for-1 vote to your opponent and not tapping the Death Toucher. I took 2 damage for no reason there. And I just keep on drawing. Fine. Fine then. Hmm, 3-drop into 4-drop. That shall be enough. The 4/4 is also going to be decent with the duel for dominance, even if I don't get the Coven. It can kill anything with 3 power and at most 4 toughness. Again, the this guy. Okay, I have now options for turn 4. Take 3 here, sadly. Missing a 2-drop always hurts because, well, especially on the draw. That is just that's the importance of. I always say it. This is the perfect example of when you are in trouble, because now they basically are dealing extra damage all the time. Because I can block one of these guys, and if they have removal, it's even worse, or a kind of a pump spell that allows them to survive. But yeah, look at this. I'm at 11. Now I will have the Shadow Beast here, which is good. But if they have any more removal, I basically lost the game because I don't have a 2-drop. If I had a 2... Oh, and look at this. If I had a 2-drop, I would have been able to trade there. But now I'm just so behind here that if they have anything, it's game over right away. And that's what happens when you don't have a 2-drop. But it wasn't a mulligan hand. I mean, even if you have like a 7 2-drops in a deck, not every starting hand will have one. You just hope that the opponent doesn't have like exactly what they had there. They were even able to double spell there, and okay, this is an insane card, and they have haste now because they have the option to make these. Surprisingly, they didn't choose to deal 5 to each creature and planeswalker. So I just have to do this, and then I'm basically dead because these will ping. These will ping when they die. So I guess that was the kind of curve out you. I wasn't gonna beat even having a 2-drop there, actually, given that they had the rare there. But this is a pretty decent deck, and I'm now at 2 losses already. So, but at one win, yeah. So I'm hugely disappointed if this is gonna end up being a 1-3 deck or even a 2-3. I mean, minimum of 3 wins would be decent, but our opponent just had a very insane curve there, and I had a slight flooding out in the previous game there. Now I am on the draw, but at least I have a 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop here. So opponent shouldn't have a similar kind of, unless they have a high quality cards like the previous opponent. Okay, there's no 2-drop at all. Another white red deck here. Okay, morning patrol. I'm not probably offering the trade because they can have a vigilance flyer with it. It makes no sense. I'm going to just play my flyer here. I don't have to return a creature with this, and then I can have the Cavern Silversmith. Okay, well that now I will return a creature for sure. And then I can play the Silversmith, boosting the Griff and itself. Or do they have another removal? That would be annoying if they had a double spell on turn 4, double removals. It's possible, of course, because this is just a 1-mana card. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna play just a 4-4 instead. So let's do that. So they have no other spell. Well, that was a lot better for me then. They played a 1-mana spell on turn 4 and nothing else. I actually have a bunch of lands here, so if they didn't have this thing, I would have been able to play the flashback maybe at some point. But yeah, the clear shot is of course a good draw. Quite important also because this is good blocker here. What I could do here is I could attack with the 4-4. But if they don't take it... Yeah, I'm gonna just have the clear shot. I will attack for 7 here. Because it's possible they don't double block there, and then I only deal 4 when I could deal 7 too. If they double block, that would have been great with the clear shot, but why would they take the risk here? I don't think there's a reason. Now I can do just this and also exile the Griff just in case there's something that they could use to bring it back. And now when I play the Troupé, I will be able to start doing the Coven business. Okay, that gains lifelink, vigilance, trample, hinders, okay, everything. So I'm not gonna block it. Yeah, I have 2 counters too. That's actually annoying. A 3rd color. Oh. Okay, so how do I do it? I can say that this won't be able to block it. I can give this guy a counter. I could play this as a 5-5 and then give another counter at the end step. Other option is to say that this thing won't be, so I can say choose a color, gains hexproof from that color, and can't be blocked by creatures of that color. So if I say white, I can attack for quite a bit of damage actually. Now they will be able to do the same thing again, gain life, but because I can play the Silversmith here, give it a flyer also a counter. This goes to 5-5. I basically deal 11 damage here, and then they can deal 6 to me, but that takes a lot of their mana. And then the Troupé is gonna be good. I like this slightly more. Oh, they have something there. Okay, well that's... Well, I mean, if they have something, then they have something. It's not much. Oh, forgot this has an attack trigger. Well, look at this. Look at this. That's a sorcery, not an instant. I completely missed the fact that this gets rid of that. Alright, Flare of whatever. Okay, they get to kill the beast here, but they don't get to gain life again. So they can attack for 4. This has vigilance always, but I'm going to only do 10 here. Yeah, I did. This is when it enters or attacks. Immolation there. Well, it is now dead. And they have a Gabony Dawn card, so it becomes a night whenever... Oh man. They had a really good turn there. Kinda hope they would not have that kind of stuff there. But I have a Troupe and a 3-3 flyer. But this thing, when they becomes knight or vice versa, they look the top 4 pop up. You may refill a creature card. Cheap one, it goes to their hand. So they just get to draw cards there. Fine. I have a big Troupe here, and I can make the Loyal Griff even bigger if I want to. So this is gonna be a 6-6. 2, 3, and 6 power. It will trigger the Coven. And who's gonna get the counter? It could be the Silversmith too, because it can then, if they have like a removal on this thing, I can. But I think the Griff is just better target. Although it's still a 2-turn clock no matter what. Maybe I should give the Silversmith a counter, then it can block the Dawn Guard if this guy gets dealt with. Fine, I will be playing it a bit safer. Okay, that was... I made a mistake here though. I lost my Coven now, and I have a 3. Yeah, that was a clear mistake. They have this thing. But I have a clear shot. A clear mistake in the clear shot. Because why would I make a 3 power creature when my Coven won't happen given the card in my hand too? That was just horrible. But I did draw this thing, so it means I will... I mean, I win here, right? That's what it means, doesn't it? Oh, cancel. Oh, this deals damage to this guy. It's not so difficult, and then I have a lethal attack that doesn't have lifelink. Okay. That was still... I gave the counter to the wrong creature. Well, a new set. Let's allow some mistakes. Now I'm still only at 2-2. I really don't want to lose a game before the 3rd win anymore. Okay, what do I have here? A 2-drop, a 3 mana play I can make if the 2-drop survives and I draw a land. And to play this thing I need a plains. To play this thing I need to draw 2 lands. I'm on the draw. I'm gonna mulligan this. It's too risky. This is not great, but whatever. I still don't like the starting 7 I had there. Now that I can play as 1-1 if I want to. Don't know if I want to though. Thermal Alchemist. I don't have a 3-drop, so I'm gonna play this maybe on turn 3. Yeah, it's not a great one for me. I mean, missing a 2-drop is so bad. Oh, that's the haste. Oh, the rare. Okay, yeah, well, I thought this was like one of the 2-3 commons. Yeah, this is insane. It's a basically 3-3 haster. They could have attacked with it, couldn't they? I'm not understanding what's happening. So at the beginning of combat on your turn. +1/+0 and haste. So they can target. They thought I have some removal for it. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And I drew the brutal Cathar here, which is pretty amazing. Let's get rid of the Stormseeker for now. It will come back if they have removal for the Cathar, but so be it. At least I can play this as a 3-3 if I need to. And of course they have removal on it. Let's see if they attack now. They already missed some damage there on the previous turn. Now they should realize they can attack with it. Or with that, okay. Well, this is best of fun. Opponent has an amazing start and then you just... It's very hard to try to deal with it. Now if they have more removal, I'd be in trouble. If they don't, I think I will still have a chance because of the clear shot I drew. And they have a Gavin Silversmith. And they're gonna haste up the Silversmith. I mean, there's no beating this red when they are on the play and have the kind of start when that they had their removal on my answer to the creature. And just look at this. I'm taking 9 here. I can trade with a Silversmith, which is just a 2/3, and I still am at 8. This will fly. I mean, if I take 9 here, what can I do? I can kill the Reckless Stormseeker. They can continue pinging me with that thing. I'm at 5. I'm basically at 4. They untap, I'm at 3. This is any target. Now, there's no way I can beat them before they kill me with the Alchemist and all the creatures they have. That was really disappointing. That was basically one... I mean, it's the best of one experience. It's a world of high variance. Because you... I mean, if opponent gets a good curve out once and that's it, game over. And now I had 2 opponents which had an incredible curve out, and then I was slightly flooded in the one other game, which is that's not so bad. That's normal. But the curve outs with involving those rares, they were just I mean, there was nothing I could do. I had 2 drops in the deck. Well, not, I mean, what, 5 2-mana creatures. So I don't know. Don't really know. I mean, they just had cheap removal to deal with my stuff. And then they had their own creatures I wasn't able to remove. But that's green-white. Green-white won't have any cheap removal. Yeah, a disappointing result, I have to say, but that's it. That's how it goes. Let's claim the prize here, and next one will be a traditional draft. Thank you for watching and see you then. Bye bye.